Hola, que pasa? Coz is here, and I'm going to be interviewing blind this time. We did this last year. It's always weird because everyone's used to blind being like, "Hey, we're back," but it's me doing the intro. So
Let's do this
anyway,
entire
blind, how's
episode
it
in
going?
Spanish. You said hola que pasa. Bien, too.
He shut up.
Me
Yeah, I
gusta
know, right?
football. um,
uh,
yeah,
so yeah,
it's always
make
it's
with the
always weird
football.
being on this
That's
side.
how you're doing, huh?
Me gusta football. I was about to say things in German, because I can't remember Spanish. So my
No, no,
issue.
no, no me gusta my fantasy team.
No me gusta my fantasy team. My issue was I took Spanish, um, first grade through sixth grade, and then I went to a middle school that offered German in seventh grade, and then I moved. So I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved German. Moved in going into eighth grade. New school did not offer German, so I took French for 2 years. French 1 in eighth grade, French 1 in ninth grade, because I kept writing German answers on my French tests. Moved to a different school in 10th grade, which offered German again. So I took German 1, 2, and 3 in high school. So moral of the story, I speak barely any French, barely any German, barely any Spanish, and I don't know what's what. I just say words.
Just say word.
Yeah. So I almost spoke German when I said let's speak Spanish. It would have been embarrassing, but yeah, happy to be here. It's weird, as I said at the end of your episode. It's weird being on in the middle. Usually it's like the wrap up to everything. So I feel like my episodes I talk about a lot of what everybody else has talked about. But obviously releasing these in order of the recording. So Cam is first, you were second, I'm third. It just feels weird, especially because there's not much to look forward to on my team. And so when we start to break this down, it's just going to be, what did you expect? And it's going to be like, no, I expected what I got. In fact,
yeah.
And so you've seen my results. I've seen my results because I had to make the thing for it. I would argue you guys were nicer than you should have been. And that's my opinion. I honestly think that sometimes maybe people forgot to check a box for me because they're just so written off. But, who knows? This is the last year of mediocrity, though, I'll tell you that. I hope.
Hey, that's good to hear. Yeah, at least you're confident. Let's move into the scene.
I have such a plan for next year, which does mean nothing for this year, but I have such a plan for next year. And it might be the dumbest thing in the world, but we'll see if it works. And I'm not telling anybody what it is. Here is the scene, nice and pretty. And so I guess we'll start, as always, with the division reveal. One of you needs a mental health check. Second place for me. Over Brownout.
Yeah, I mean,
not over Brownout. Over you, over Ticket to Ride. I think that's insanity.
Miles Sanders RB1.
I think he could be. I think he could be.
Yeah,
I have so many just shit dart throws on my team, but Miles Sanders is one of the ones I believe in the most. I wonder if we did like I love top 5, top 10 list. So I wonder what my top 5 dart throws on this piece of shit team would be. This scene isn't gonna work. I made all these scenes and they don't work. That's so frustrating. I don't know. Damian Pierce might come through with this Joe Mixon thing. Hey, don't you have Joe Mixon? Do you want to buy Pierce for a second?
Possible. Oh man, I think I'm fresh out of second for a while.
That's true. Will Shipley could be something good if Saquon misses any time at all. I think Rodgers I got for cheap. I'm really excited about him. D-Hop for $8, whatever. Waller for $7. I'm excited. I don't know. Levis for $1 to sit on my IR for a year. Why not?
Yeah, who knows? If he's still playing.
Yeah, if he's still playing. I put the wrong thing on the screen. So yeah, so 9 of you said 4th place. I feel like that's right. I appreciate the 3rd place votes. I don't know.
You never know. It's fantasy football, like we said. You never really know. I mean, and the thing is, you do have 2 QBs. It's more than some people. So.
Well, I think that's one of the things we were talking about leading into this, right? Is that we think that Vic has a good team. Like, I think that his team is significantly more likely to beat me.
I think the thing with Vic is that Vic's kind of like. I mean, I don't want to spoil your interview necessarily, but Vic's got most of his first round rookies on his taxi, and he's kind of punting the year and going into next year. If he took all of his rookies and the Dunze off the taxi and threw them into his lineup, obviously he would be putting up more points.
Right.
But that's just not his goal, because he kind of realizes he probably can't do much this year with Brown out and Ticket to Ride, battling out for first and second.
Yeah.
So he's just backing away, and it's like, you, on the other hand, don't have a choice. So you're just kind of here.
I mean, you look
Yeah.
at the project. I mean, he doesn't have a full starting lineup in. I can't imagine Keaton Mitchell's actually starting in his flex spot when he is Kyle Pitts. Not that I think everybody here hates Kyle Pitts, but Geno versus Tua, I think is fairly even. I'm a big Geno believer. ETN over Miles Sanders. ETN wins that one, right? Chase Brown beats Raheem Mostert easily. Nico and T. Higgins, I think I go Nico. Waddle beats Mims. Tolbert and Hollywood, pick your poison, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, Ingram beats Waller, probably, I think. Apparently not the projections.
We saw what John Wayne did last year. If Tua's just dumping off to Waller.
James Conner beats Dalton Schultz. I imagine Pitts beats DeAndre Hopkins. I beat him with the super flex spot, but I mean, I think Vic's team is better than it's giving credit for. So I think the 9 fourth place. I mean, I guess a couple thirds, because who knows? But the second place vote, that's just wrong, I think. I did get a lot of votes for the toilet bowl. Yeah, let's talk about that one next. 9 of you think I'm a lock in the toilet bowl. I guess that's right. I mean, that should be higher though. I mean, that should
that means that 3 teams think that you're gonna make either extra pick or playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely don't think I'm gonna make the playoffs.
Which is, I mean, so like, people have you actually getting into the extra pick, which, I mean, I guess if Vasquez's team takes a dump, or if my team takes a dump, or even if Brownout takes a dump and yours just, I don't know, you're gonna have to like hit on like at least 4 dart throws, and like, I mean hit, like,
right.
You're gonna have to, like, a Puka Nakua out of your ass.
But even then, and like, so look, if I start winning some games somehow and doing things, then yeah, I probably would just go for the extra pick, considering I only have 1 first this coming year. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But I just don't even think. I think that if things start to click for me, it's almost like shops open. Like, come on down.
Yeah.
You know? I'll throw this guy. I mean, I'll throw a third onto him for a second. You give me a second, I'll give you a 2-for-1 special. Like, it's. I think it's more likely to be like that than for me to win some games and say, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
We'll talk about at the end kind of the overall stuff, but I don't see there's a way. I don't see there's a way that I'm not in the toilet bowl. But I appreciate the vote of confidence from some of you.
I was gonna say, especially if you're already expecting to, then like, you don't really care about the start of the season. You care about what's happening later on in the year.
Yeah.
And that's when you're actually playing. Whereas like, you're kind of coasting through the first few weeks of the season, and then once it gets to like week 8, you're like, okay, let's start planning for the future.
Yeah.
Not that you're already doing it.
For sure. No, but I know exactly what you mean. Like, I think the first couple weeks of the season is just going to be, I'm going to do my annoying thing that I do where I'm just sending offers on a consistent basis. When your guy goes down with an ACL tear, all of a sudden there's going to be an offer in your inbox 20 minutes later of give me your first and I'll give you Geno or Rodgers kind of thing. And hopefully nobody gets hurt or anything. But like, I'll be doing that. But to your point, like at the halfway check-in, that's when I'm going to be like, all right, what's the plan here? I feel like, and there's a little bit of bias here because I'm such a heavy, ridiculous trader, but I feel like people don't think about the trade deadline as much as they should. And so I think that there are people on both ends of this. Like, I think everybody should be buying and selling at the trade deadline. Like, literally, I think that there are teams that are pushing the playoffs that, like, dude, like, I think at the trade deadline, a 3rd round pick can get you a really good player, because this is my last chance to get rid of him when I don't need him. And I think a first holds an insane amount of value. I think there's players that aren't making your starting roster that'll help a team in the toilet bowl that would happily pay a second for, like, because if they, if they send, like, if, like, for example, like if I'm going to the toilet bowl and I send, a projected late second round. I think I have your second round pick. Let's say you're looking great. And I send your second round pick to go ahead and get some starting running back. That second round pick is the difference between 104 and 102 or 103. That's the difference between getting 105 and 113 and having 106. And so I think that people I'm good with my team. I think the trade deadline is just so important. And I know I've been one of the more active people there. I just think it's crazy important, but who knows? That's just me going on.
Before we look at the two obvious playoff reveal and championship reveal ones, I want to shamelessly plug the trade deadline again because, like you were just saying, I thought about it. December 1st every year, because you love your December 1st. I don't think we changed anything with the trade deadline, but after the trade deadline, since it's December 1st, like any cut after that is full dead cap. So that's another reason to incentivize trading at the deadline.
Yeah. Once you cut these people, they're stuck with you.
Creating cap. Yep.
Yeah, I think I was one of the teams last year, like, cut 7 people at 12:01 or like at 11:59. Like, get some money back and figure it out from there. But I mean, there quite literally might be players you can get for your projected late fourth, like your playoff fourth, that someone's just cutting because they're like, I'd rather have the extra $5 next year, or roll it over, or the flexibility, or whatever that looks like. December 1st. So, November 30th, we'll be doing a thing again, maybe. And I really enjoyed it when there's a bunch of us in a Discord call talking and trading. It was easily one of the highlights of this thing for me so far. I don't know what you mean by the obvious things. These numbers might surprise you for people predicting me in the championship and locked into playoffs, by the way.
It won't. Hit 1, 2. 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's exactly what you kind of expected. Yeah, I mean that's obvious, right? There's no way I'm a playoff lock or in a championship position. So the most boring slide you'll see. There's a couple of ones that are also boring, but yeah, pretty much what we all expected. I think kind of coming in. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, with that in mind, obviously, like success for your team this year, it's probably like winning the 101. That's like the ultimate goal. But I mean, talk about that a little bit, and then talk about what success for you looks like in a couple of years, because obviously you're full on rebuild. I mean, I would argue your rebuild's much longer than say Rick's was, or Chase's was, or even Morgan's, because like Morgan came into the league first year, and he just from the jump was like, I'm rebuilding, and then Chase took over that team from Cade and Booty, I think, and Chase was like, I'm liquidating everything, and now here I am. And not trying to get you to reveal your plan, but just what does success look like for you in a couple of years? Like, do you see yourself in the mix for the playoffs in a couple of years? Or do you think it's going to take longer than that?
Yeah, I have a very, very distinct plan that very much is it centers around my fantasy football philosophy. And so I think that you'll really see it come into effect next year. I think it's going to take, 2 off seasons to get there. 2 more, so not this last one, the next one. I think depending on how it goes next year, will be big. I think the important thing for me is holding on to the pieces that I know are going to be here for a while, like Nico signing into that 5-year deal that I'm really excited about. Taking some shots, the Marvin Mims extension, like that was never on my radar, and it just grew on me more and more with the Broncos not really drafting anybody, and him being so cheap and in that offense. So like, could he be something good? Maybe. I think it's worth it. There's like, I think Jake Browning could probably start somewhere at some point, and his contract's up after this year. So I extended him a year to see if he goes and gets a starting job somewhere, just because I think he could. I think he's shown enough to kind of go get a shot. So I don't know.
How was that, like 2 years ago when Burrow got hurt, or was it 3 years ago? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, he's played well when he's played, and I think that he has a chance maybe somewhere one day. So I'm doing things like that. I'm trying to create value from assets out of nowhere. I mean, I just have so much dead cap against me for my shenanigans. So
Right. Yeah.
I think that my plan has got to be get rid of this dead cap. The dead cap, a lot of it falls off after this year. There's a tiny bit into 26, but nothing in comparison. It's a little more than $40, and so depending on how the plan goes, I might have the ability to get some more core pieces. But I think that we heard Cam say he treats it like best ball or redraft almost, and I think that that's somewhat intelligent. But I think that I'm really going to go after something next year. I'm expecting that to take a lot of my capital, and then we'll see how that goes after that, and kind of know if I need to then kind of reload and refire in 2027 or how I need to do different things. But we'll see how it goes. But I think 101 is a very realistic possibility for me in 2020. Not 2026 picks. I think 101 is very realistic for 2027.
Yeah.
I think playoffs is incredibly realistic and contender 2028, leading into realignment. As for this season, you said 101. I don't think I have a chance at 101 just because there's so many good teams. I think I'd be happy with I'd be really happy with 102. I'd be happy with 103. I think the biggest thing for me is just to try to create as much value as I can and get as many assets as I can. I kind of hinted at it earlier in the show, but if Elijah, if Isaiah Pacheco goes down and Elijah Mitchell takes over that backfield, and it's a 3-week thing and it's bye weeks and you're hurting, send me a second and I'll send you him in a fourth, or him in a handcuff running back. I'm just going to be trying to wheel and deal and try to turn as many of these seconds I can into firsts, many thirds as I can into seconds. And then come trade deadline, I bought last year and it worked. I might be buying again this year and hoping for the same success, and who knows. But I'm telling you, your quarterback gets hurt. Gino's good. He's on the Raiders with a coach who knows how to use him. I love what the Raiders are doing. I think Gino's going to be really good. But also Gino or Rodgers pretty quickly. Can't sell them both because then it's anti-tank rules. But, they're both on 1-year expiring deals. Rodgers probably rides off in the sunset. Gino's very easily 79 next year if he plays well. Very easily re-signable QB 2-3 contract. But for me, it's just liquefying as much as I can into something for the future, because we all know that this year is an absolute sham for me. But get to have fun on the sidelines, looking in and cheering for everybody else. Looking forward to doing that again this year, the same way I did last year. Yeah, that's my plan this year.
I mean, that was really all we had. Did you have any other thoughts you wanted to add, or any other comments to anybody specifically?
Nope. I don't think so. I think it's it. I think I hit everything I wanted to hit. Really looking forward to football this year. Go Birds.
Yeah. Go Birds.
Good to have 3 of us back in the league. I think we repeat. I think we repeat. Don't you?
It's hard to say we don't. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to count us out. Just got to stay healthy.
I only fear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Tampa Bay, they schedule us to go play in Tampa every single year when it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah. And the Buccaneers scare me. Nobody else scares me. Maybe the Rams a tiny bit, but not really. Nobody else scares me in the NFC. And if we were in the AFC, it'd be a different story. We don't have to play Burrow or Allen or Mahomes, or Lamar.
Or Lamar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, the NFC is kind of a
fucking cakewalk.
I don't want to say cakewalk, but it's really if the Eagles were in the AFC, we'd have a much tougher time making it to the big dance again.
Yeah. Think about, what is it? Allen, Mahomes, and you take Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar, who were arguably 3 of the top 4 quarterbacks.
And we're not even including Burrow in that conversation either.
So I meant Burrow. So Burrow, Allen, Lamar, all 3 of them
and
combined.
Yeah.
So you take Allen, Lamar, and Burrow, all 3 of them combined have been to the Super Bowl once. That's nuts. It's Mahomes. It's just that the AFC is just built different. So glad we don't have to play there. That's for sure. And hopefully we can smoke whoever the fuck makes it to the Super Bowl again this year, because that was great. So Shout out
Yeah,
you, by the way,
that was
repping both the Super Bowl 50. This is the Rick. I know you probably already stopped listening because we're talking Eagles, but you can close out now. You're repping the new one and the OG
Yeah.
with Big Dick Nick
Yeah.
and with the hat.
This one was, yep, 42.
Good
So
stuff. Good times. All right, we should
got
wrap
all
up.
the gear.
All the gear, all the things.
Yep. Thank you for watching. If you tuned in this long, go Birds.
If you put up with us, if it's not just me, you, and Vic here at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout
We'll
out
see you in the
Dan.
next one, guys. Shout out Dan. I miss Dan. Shout out Dan. We'll see you guys soon. I don't know who's next at the point of recording this. I have a theory it's Chase. If not, it's K Migs. It could be Flynn. Who knows? But you'll see me with one of them tomorrow. We'll see you guys soon.